Hey y'all, welcome back to the channel, and today we are talking about the best firearms for the ladies out there. So if you're a lady and you're looking to get your first firearm, this video is for you because I'm going to give you some things to think about when considering what that firearm looks like for you. Even if it's not your first one, going forward, what are the best fit firearms for you? So before we get started, the information that you hear today, make sure is relevant to your lifestyle. If it's not, don't apply it, because all things don't work for everybody, and therefore you want to choose out of what you hear today what works best for you. When we talk about best, we're talking about the fit and the handle of a firearm. You want to think about the strength of your hands and the size of your hands to have that best fit. You also want to know what your purpose is for your firearm, whether it be for concealed carry, for home defense, for practical use, or even competitive shooting. You want to find out what that purpose is. And then lastly, which is most important to me, is what is the comfort like for the recoil that you'll have on that firearm. So a couple other things to also consider is before obtaining a firearm, or if you're thinking about obtaining a firearm in the near future, you want to prioritize safe handling of a firearm, safety training. You want to know your local and state laws about your firearm, whether you can have this type of firearm or that type of firearm. And you also want to have a quality holster for this firearm, as well as a safe storage option. All those things considered before you even think about buying a firearm. You want to make sure that you have all those things in place, and then you're ready for your firearm and all those things that come with it. That way you're set up for the necessary tools and resources that you need to own this firearm. So let's jump right in. The first type of firearm, which is one of the most common firearm types, is a compact / full-size striker fire pistol. And so these firearms are like your all-around firearms. These include examples like a Glock 19, even a Glock 43X. You have your Sig Sauer P365 and all the variants of it. You have your Springfield Hellcat. You have the Smith & Wesson M&P, and you have even something like the CZP-10. All of these are your full-size / compact striker fire pistols that work for a variety of things, for home defense, for concealed carry, for practical shooting, competitive shooting, whatever you want it to be. Compact / full-size handguns can get the job done. Most of them have predictable triggers. They have a ton of aftermarket support, and it's easy to find the sizes that fit smaller hands. So most women do have small hands. I do understand that there are women who have larger hands, but for the most part, most women will try to gravitate towards a smaller gun because they have smaller hands, and it doesn't always match. The math doesn't always match in that situation, because having smaller hands doesn't necessarily mean you can maintain the recoil. So sometimes having smaller hands with a bigger gun, some women can shoot better. And so with a full size / a compact size striker fire pistol, it can work for most all women. The second type of firearms are your subcompact firearms. So contrary to the full size and the compact, the subcompacts are a little bit smaller. These are the ones that you want to use kind of for concealed carry. They are small in size, that way you can conceal carry it, whether it's appendix style, whether you conceal it in your purse, in a nice holster. Whatever the case may be, subcompact usually works out. Examples of the subcompact platforms are the Glock 43X, the Sig P365 and its variants, the Springfield Hellcat, and even something like the Ruger Max 9. Because these guns are so much smaller, the trade-off though is that the recoil will be a little bit harder to maintain. And like I said earlier, with the compact guns, if your hands are small and you're wanting to shoot a smaller gun, you want to make sure you take into consideration the recoil could be a little bit too much for you to maintain if you were to shoot a compact gun. So I have my Glock 43X that I have been EDCing for about 3 years now, and most people don't like the Glock 43X because they use the word snappy, meaning that when you shoot it, the gun flips a lot, or the recoil is a little bit harder to maintain. There are even people like men who say they don't like the Glock 43X because their hands are just way too big to kind of control the recoil on this. And I find that funny because I feel like if your hands are a little bit bigger, you should be able to maintain this, but to each his own. I don't have small hands and I don't have big hands. I just have average size hands, and the way that I grip my 43X, I feel like I have the best control over it. 43X, small subcompact firearm. It is empty, by the way. nothing in the chamber. We are practicing safe gun handling here, but the 43X is a small platform. But if it's something that you probably can shoot, you probably can conceal it, you probably can carry it, you probably can defend your life with it. And then going back to the first compact and full-size guns, we have the Glock 19X. It is also empty, and so you can tell the difference between me and my 19X and how much real estate I'm taking up with my 19X versus my 43X. Obviously, the barrel and the slide is longer. This is a full-size gun compared to a subcompact gun. I mean, a great difference, a huge difference. So you just want to know, as a lady, what works for you. Again, smaller hands doesn't mean you have to shoot a smaller gun. You can shoot a full-size gun with smaller hands and probably shoot it even better. But you just want to, again, try before you buy. You want to go to the range, you want to go to your local gun stores and just get your hands on the guns. You want to see what it feels like. Fit, to me, is the best indicator of whether or not this gun is going to be good for you. Forget about the shoot initially. How does it feel in your hand? Do you feel like you can maintain it? Do you feel like you can control it? Do you feel like you can grip it? Are all your fingers wrapped around the grip? Are they just barely in the front? Those are things you want to analyze before making that decision. The third option that you have are revolvers. Now, I don't have too much experience with revolvers, but I do know that revolvers are a very easy and simple platform to shoot. They only come, I believe, is 6 to maybe 8 or 10 rounds in the wheel. And the good thing about it is you don't have any casings ejecting. All your cases stay in the wheel until you actually pop the wheel open and then eject the casings that way. It's extremely reliable. It has fewer controls than your striker fire pistols. There's less controls to worry about. It's simply just pulling the trigger and that's it. Some have safeties, some don't. These are great options for beginners who want just a simple gun. Simplicity is your top thing. You don't want all the controls, you don't want all the features, you don't want all the fancy stuff on some of these more high-end guns. You just want simplicity, and you just want to be able to control the gun and be able to shoot it if you need to. Some of the examples of revolvers include the Smith & Wesson 686, and then you have an option like a Ruger LCR, which is perfect for concealed carry. The next option you have are your compact semi-autos that have the ergonomics that you can change, such as your back straps. So again, fit is big for women. The fit of the gun has to fit really good in your hand, almost 100%. I don't know that there's a level or a bar that says this gun is 100% in my hand for any woman, but you want to get as close to 100% as possible. And with ergonomics and aftermarket support to help you get that grip like you want it, semi-automatics with grip options are the way to go. So we're talking about options like the SIG P320. I know, it's okay, but it's still on the list. You got your Walther PDP compact, and then obviously you have your Glocks, where with all Glocks, you can absolutely change this grip texturing. You can change the back strap. As you can see, I have cut out my back strap just to fit my gun the way I want it to. They come with big back straps, they come with smaller back straps, they come with slimmer, more bulky. It just becomes almost like a Lego for you to just piece together how you want that gun to fit. Another option is the infamous shotgun. Most people will recommend a shotgun for women. If anything, I hear a lot of men say, I have my pistol and I have my rifle. I give her the shotgun. All she has to do is point and aim. To an extent, but yes, it has the best stopping power. It's best for home defense. You can train with it for home security situations. Very easy platform, and there's several options out here. So some options for shotguns include Mossberg 500 or the 590, the Remington 870, the Benelli M4, which is a higher end shotgun, but all these shotguns will be a great option for women. It's recommended to have a shorter barrel with the compact stock. That way it's easier to handle. In the event that you have to shoot it, you can at least maintain it. Maintain the recoil, maintain the gun, handle the gun as though it's second nature to you. And then the last option is your rimfire training, so your 22 long rifles. I don't recommend women getting 22 long rifles as their home defense, as their concealed carry, because you do want a little bit more stopping power than a 22 long rifle. Now, the benefits of having a 22 long rifle are you learning your fundamentals and your training with these guns. The ammo is cheap. The guns are usually pretty cheap. You can get them in rifle platform, pistol platform, revolver platform, and it's gonna make for an easier transition before you go to your full-size gun or your subcompact gun and then start shooting 9mm or 380s or 357s. These are gonna be good options for you to train with to lead up to your more reliable gun. Options for the 22 long rifle are your Ruger 10 and 22, your Ruger SR 22. There's ton of pistols that are chambered in 22 long rifle, like the Glock 44 and the FN 502. You have revolvers that are chambered in 22 long rifles. So there's several options out here for your rimfire training. But again, I don't recommend a 22 long rifle as anything that you want to save your life. It is a perfect option for training, for learning your fundamentals. But as you get well acquainted with those fundamentals and the training of that firearm, I would suggest you go up to your 9mm Ruger or your 9mm 43X or whatever your choice may be. So with all that being said, here's a practical buying list for those of you who are ready to go buy your firearm. For you ladies who are ready to jump right in and get your firearm, first and foremost, you want to make sure that fit is perfect. You want to make sure it's at least, like I said earlier, close to 100% perfect in your hand as possible. If it doesn't fit, you're probably not going to shoot it well. So make sure fit is the number one thing on your checklist. Number two, recoil. Can you control your follow-up shots? So once you shoot it one time and the slide goes back and it ejects that casing and chambers the next round, can you pull the trigger again without your gun flying everywhere or without you not putting that shot on target? Recoil, recoil, recoil. Can you maintain that gun and the recoil it has? Sights. Sights are a big deal. Sights are, I have a optic on my 43X, but my sights are here and here. So I have a rear sight and a front sight. I shoot with red dots. I also shoot with iron sights, which are your rear and your front sight here. But can you shoot with iron sights? I recommend that getting into shooting, women shoot with iron sights first. I wish I would have shot with iron sights first, because now I'm kind of like, I suck with iron sights, which means I have to train more. But I would say if you're getting into firearms, ladies, start out with iron sights, start training with your iron sights. And then if you decide you want to put a red dot on there, kudos to you. You will know how to shoot with iron sights and a red dot. The next thing is controls. Can you control this firearm? So on many handguns, there's different controls for every handgun, but you think of something like, does your gun have a safety? Do you know how to manipulate that safety? Do you know how to turn the safety on and off? Do you know what happens when you accidentally turn the safety on, what you're supposed to do? Do you know how to release a mag out of your gun, which I don't have any mag or ammo near the guns right now, but do you know how to push the mag release button, take the mag out, insert a new mag, and continue on shooting? Do you know what to do when there's a malfunction? Just different things to think about when you're choosing your gun, with especially how modern and up-to-date the manufacturers are getting now. You want to make sure you have complete control over the controls of the gun. Also, you want to think about the weight and the carry of the gun. Is the gun too heavy? Is the gun too light? Is the gun too long? Is it too big? Is the grip too big? As you can tell on my 43X, my grip is perfect. That's why I love my 43X so much. It fits my hand great. There are some times where women decide to get guns that are too big and then they can't control them, they can't carry them, and they definitely can't conceal them. So you want to make sure the weight and the carry of the gun is something that you can handle. And then lastly, and probably the most important tip I will give you, is to train. You want to make sure, if you're at least going to the range once a month, training with that firearm, knowing how to shoot that firearm, because it does no good to buy a firearm and you never shoot it. That's pointless. There's no need of you spending $400, $500, $600 on a firearm just to say you have a firearm and then it goes and sits in the safe or in your case or under your bed or under your mattress, which I don't recommend. I recommend safe storage for your firearms. But train with your firearm. If it's something that's going to defend your life, it can't defend your life if you don't know how to work it. So that's what I have for the ladies today. Just a few tips. I might have missed some things. Y'all just let me know down in the comment section. Fellas, make sure you chime in as well for our ladies. We are learning with each other and learning from each other, and we don't always get it right. We may miss some things. We may miss certain tips that we should share with each other. And so if you think I missed something, make sure you drop it down in the comment section. And ladies, let me know if you have already gotten your first gun and what was it. I'm eager to know, because right now the research shows that the P365 is one of the most sought after handguns to buy today. I looked it up a couple weeks ago, and it was the P365 as well as the Glock 19. But what are some of the guns that you guys, ladies, and I mean guys, y'all can chime in too, but this was for the ladies. What are some of the guns that you guys have opted to be your first handgun and it works for you? Maybe not 100%, but maybe like 95% it works for you. Drop it down in the comment section below and let me know. As y'all know, the Glock 43X is what works for me. And so if that's the same for you, let me know. But if you have something different, always put it down in the comment section. And until next time, stay armed, stay safe, and stay vigilant. Peace.